Welcome back, everybody, to the Even Your Dynasty show.
We just got breaking news in.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Even Your Dynasty show. Sorry, we're running a few minutes late there, Tom. But welcome, everybody. We're going to be talking a little spring training action. We touch on Team USA a little bit as well. They were, I think they just finished off Brazil, although they kind of played with their food. Ricky likes to say it that way a little bit today. So
it's definitely a Ricky thing.
Yeah, so hopefully they can clean that up a little bit going forward. But Webby had a good start. Other than that little blemish on the second pitch, which hey, it might be possible that Manny Ramirez's kid is just pretty good. So because he hit another homer late in the game, so we'll kind of see how he does going forward. But
I'll save my Manny Ramirez joke.
Yeah, it might be only green room appropriate.
If you know me, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit of spring training. Obviously, a lot of young guys are getting opportunities right now, especially with the World Baseball Classic kicking off the last few days. Have a few of the Giants that are in that have had a couple of decent outings. I don't know if you watched the Puerto Rico game today. Ramos had a hat trick, but he did come about a couple feet from a 3-run homer. Ended up with a sac fly. I think Lee went 2 for 4 for Korea in their game yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it. I was busy working, but I did hear that Ramos was like a yard away from basically clearing the bases. And it's also good. That report came out this morning that I saw that Lee apparently had rolled his ankle, and for him to be able to play and get a couple knocks, it means it must not be that bad. So it's good to hear.
Yeah, and it sounds like it wasn't serious. From what I saw afterward, it sounds like he's going to keep playing. So it must not be too bad, because I don't think the Giants would have been too thrilled about it if he's playing through any kind of serious sprain or anything. So,
no, for sure. But it is good to hear about, or to see Webby. I mean, if you think about it, he's notoriously prone to those first inning jitters, so it's not necessarily a surprise that he gave one up, but he locked in after that and looked pretty damn good apparently. So
yeah, see, Aaron gets it.
Yeah, just working on stuff.
It's spring, man. He's just working on stuff. He's probably throwing only fastballs.
Yeah, exactly.
2 pitches.
Molly looked good today. Apparently, I couldn't watch it, but apparently he was solid.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even have the GoPro cameras today for the Giants. He did. He had 2 relatively clean innings. I don't think he gave up any hits in those. He did walk 3 guys, so that is something to kind of keep an eye on. But it is spring, and it's.
And like Aaron said, just working on things.
Yeah, he's just working on stuff like throwing strikes. It's fine.
They're optional in spring.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll see what happens. It really, to me, I start paying a lot more attention to the performance aspect of spring training the last, 2 weeks of spring. Usually once they've gone through a good amount of cuts, the rosters are, shrunk down closer to the final number, and guys are starting to, they're a little more built up, and they're starting to really kind of act more like it's games that count, so that's when I really start caring about the performance. Right now, I'm more just interested in the process, seeing what people's stuff looks like for the pitcher side, for the hitter side, just kind of more like how are they controlling the zone, things like that, just kind of the process of it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you for sure. That's why at least right now, before they start making their cuts, it's fun to watch like a lot of these younger guys get a chance, get some playing time, see what they can do. There's a lot of excitement there. So that's one of the the fun parts about the World Baseball Classic going down. it's not at that point in spring to where these young players are getting sent down. You can kind of get some good visuals, some good playing time, some good ABs. So yeah, it's cool, man. And Big Al, we're gonna touch on that. Don't you worry. We're gonna touch on that.
Yeah, we got that flagged. Justin says Giants leading the Cactus League through 12 games. We're back, baby. Hey, you know what? I've got a joke that's already written and queued up for if the Giants win the Cactus League again. I think we're gonna be working on a new logo. It's gonna change to the Cactus League Dynasty Show.
Yep.
And
I'm gonna have a edit made by Bruce Buffer, and he's gonna come out the reigning, defending Cactus League champions, and everyone's just gonna get lit, bro. I'm with it.
If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what does.
That's the most energy I've had all day.
Other than 82 wins.
Yeah. 80. Yeah. No kidding.
That 82nd win, and it's going to be like Tim Robbins at the end of Shawshank. Just in the rain.
Oh, my
God. It's brutal.
Back-to-back champs. Yes, sir.
Dodgers got nothing on us. Oh, man. But anyway, so we've had some good action. We've had some good action in spring. We were able to watch a few games. It was nice for those like 3 or 4 games we got to watch, other than the one where we got absolutely blitzed by Team USA, but not really shocked. We also got blitzed by our own minor leaguers in addition to Team USA because a couple guys,
injury, bro.
Yeah, a couple guys, Dakota Jordan, Gavin Keelan, Charlie Zacconi, they all had knocks that drove in runs against the couple of a big league arm. It was Matt Gage in that game. Yeah, so that was kind of funny. So it was kind of good and bad. Matt Gage is a guy that's probably going to be in the pen, but the good was, it was nice to see a couple of these young guys get knocks in those and get that opportunity. So
I was happy to see a friend of the show, Charlie Zacconi, though.
Yeah,
he came through. They were talking about him and everything. Dude deserves it. He raked last year. So
did you hear Kershaw on the broadcast?
He was like, I don't know who he was, but good on him. Yeah. I was like, that's Mr. Charlie Zacconi for you, Clayton.
Yeah.
But funny. That was cool though to see. Yeah, man. I think Charlie's like super underrated in the system. Just nobody talks about him, and all he does is freaking rake. So
it's just his age. That's all it is. If he was 2 years younger, he'd be like a top 20 prospect for them right now. I feel pretty strongly about that. But so we had that game. They've had since we last came on here, a couple guys really standing out. I think someone mentioned it right up here, Big Al. Matos should make the team. He can hit. Yeah, I mean, right now, the way they've all played, if he's not the leader in the clubhouse, then I have a lot of questions for how they're evaluating this. I actually had brought up his TJ stats. It's Thomas Nalesko. He does he tracks a lot of the analytics and stuff like that. He had a pretty interesting one. I pulled up a few, pulled one for Bryce. I pulled one for Matos, but we have
Matos is funny from what you showed me in the green room.
Oh yeah. This you're gonna laugh.
You're gonna love it. It's funny.
Yeah. So Matos has 0 strikeouts this spring. So he's got this nice, lovely, like, let me blow this up a little bit here. He's got this nice, lovely 100th percentile here. Now that little guy, we don't worry about that little guy. He also has 0 walks. So, but like I said, I care more about process. And the one thing I am seeing from him, he's not chasing that much. He sees outside zone swing percentage. That's his chase rate, 22.2%. That's right where we would want to see it. It's 68th percentile for the guys in spring. Now, the big elephant in the room question with Luis Matos, can he carry it over into the regular season? He's struggled in any time he hasn't been getting consistent at bats. I don't know. I do get the feeling that if he keeps this up, one of 2 things is going to happen, though. He's either going to get traded for a semi-decent reliever or something of the sort, or they're not going to want to just give him away for nothing. So I have a feeling if he keeps playing like this, he's going to make the team, is my feelings on it.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I alluded to last week, and it's even more prevalent after his performance this week. It's like right now there's no doubt in my mind that he deserves to make the opening day roster, and whether he does or not is all going to be dependent on the type of trade offers that the team gets for him. I really think that's the only scenario in which he doesn't make it, unless he just goes 0 for his next 20. But I mean, at this rate, I don't see that happening. So yeah, dude. I mean, I think, as without a doubt in my mind, he's your number 4, maybe number 5 outfielder. But um, yeah, I don't see any scenario where he's not on the opening day roster.
For sure. Uh, Pick that note. Can we bring back analytics?
If only.
Yeah. I agree with that. Honestly, I use these on more than anything. I like to pull analytics because oftentimes it supports what I've been saying. It's just good
Yep.
because there's a lot of people that they want to argue it. It's like, hey, here's can't argue the numbers. So
Amen
it
to
kind of
that.
is what it is. But I definitely agree. I think there needs to be a mixture. That's why I love what Posey when they took over, how they emphasize the importance of scouting again, and they kind of beefed up that side again. So now they were more scouting than analytics, and then they kind of shifted the pendulum all the way to the other side, to the extreme, with Farhan, and now they're kind of feels like they're operating more in the middle, and I think that's kind of the way you got to do it. So, yeah. So Matos, he's one that stood out. Bryce, I don't know, for everybody that was watching,
It's
we
like a
can't even say he
450-foot triple.
he didn't even get oracled. He got poloed. It was like
Literally.
this polo grounds. I mean, what 448 to
That
center
thing's a
field, and it was a triple.
moonshot at Oracle. And how often do you hear that?
The center fielder thought it was a homer. The replay, I don't know if you saw that. It like drills the batter's eye, which is 430 feet away from home plate. That's
Yeah.
just absurd. But it drills the batter's eye, and the center fielder just like watches it bounce in front of him and just like stares at it. And everyone just Bryce just kept running because he was kind of like, I don't know if that's a homer or not, because no one was reacting.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was off a lefty too, no?
Both, yeah, that one was off a lefty.
Dude just got insane power. It's like that RBI double that he got the other night, where it just looked like a simple opposite field line drive, and that thing was,
It had some fuzz on it.
yeah, bro. It took one bounce just past the shortstop and then got to the warning track in like
I,
1.2 seconds. I'm like, how did you do that?
yeah, I know they talk about how the grass is cut short in Arizona, and it's like it's hard ground and whatever. He hit it 113 miles an hour on a line.
Yeah, bro.
I don't care if he was playing in the cabbage out there. Like that thing was skipping through the wall. Like that was absolutely smoked
You can play
off the
on a
bat.
freaking hockey rink and it's
Yeah,
gonna get the same result.
yeah, it doesn't matter. So, Bryce is he's been hitting him hard. They're staying hit. I'll pull up his for those of you that are interested. He
And
does
even
have.
yeah, while you pull those up, I was just gonna say, even defensively, he looks a lot sharper. He looks a lot smoother, looks a lot more comfortable at first. You know, his footwork's great. He's praising Ron Washington a lot for that, but you can see it's night and day difference compared to last year.
Yeah. All right, so this is what we've got.
Look at
I
that
don't,
EV.
I don't know if this is including today. The only weird thing is he hasn't really been pulling the ball in the air. But that's something that I feel like he kind of did that last season early in the year, and then deeper in the year he upped it a bit. But that is something that people have always kind of looked at, and they've gone, he's got to pull it more to tap into that power potential. And I'm part of me looks at it going, yeah, have y'all seen what ballpark he plays in? No, he does not need to pull the ball more if he wants to.
Nope.
Yeah, he's perfectly fine with just hitting him out to center and left center because he has the power to do that in Oracle. But some good things here. Obviously, the strikeout rate. Yeah, a lot of people. I'm going to have some things to say about that. But he's not swinging and missing a ton. This is actually 20% there. The whiff rate. That's really solid. It's a small sample. Main things I've seen with him. He just he's been a little more passive earlier in counts than I'd like to see. And I mean, it's a little nitpicky, but I do think he's going to have to I think he's getting that education from pitchers that they're going to try and pitch him backwards a lot because they all see what he can do to a fastball. You look at, I mean, you look at the numbers last year, how he hit fastballs and sinkers, and he absolutely crushed them. So I think players know that. So they're not going to give him fastballs and fastball counts, and they're going to pitch him backwards a lot. And it's not even that he's getting a bunch of high quality breaking stuff early in zones. He's getting a lot of those kind of like lazy dump in top of the zone breaking balls where, I feel like if he's ready to hit, he can crush it. So I would love to see him a little earlier in counts because he's just not swinging as much. But overall, I mean, the batted ball data, this is nothing surprising. You're 97th and 93rd percentile on max EV and 90th percentile EV. Even the average is positive. Like everything about what he's done this spring has been pretty impressive. He's drawn a good amount of walks. That's something that he's shown a good job or good eye the last couple of years. Obviously, his chase rate climbed a little bit in AAA last year. I think that's one thing that, I mean, if he can withstand that high strikeout rate, if he's drawing walks and he's just hitting the ball hard when he's putting the bat on it, like we can all live with it.
Yeah, it's like, I know you're going to dive in on the strikeouts, so I'll wait on that segment for you. But, I don't want to name drop anyone, but there's so many quote unquote experts that just don't know what they're freaking talking about on X and trying to act like bro needs another full year in Sacramento. And I'm like, you see what he's putting up in spring right now, and everyone's just being super nitpicky about it. And then they always allude to the strikeout percentage. And I'm like, bro, he's 6'7".
Yeah.
Like, he's got quite a different strike zone than the average player. And he's a lefty. He's going to be matched up against lefties. And like you saw today, he's still going to make them pay. But like I said, the K rate in particular, that's something I'm not worried about in the slightest. And I'm going to pass the mic to you so you can play a fun game with everyone.
All right, so this is for everyone to play. Now, for those of you that are in the Discord, I'm going to ask you guys refrain from commenting the answer to this because I did this with everyone in the Discord.
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, Justin.
Yeah, well, we're looking at you guys. But for those of you that are in the Discord, I'm going to ask you guys to hold off a second. Let me make sure I grab the right one because I have two images and I did not preload these into the thing here. But it's this one. We're gonna play a game. It's called Name That Player. This is a player's K rate, and this is season by season. So the top one was his rookie year. Technically, the second one was his rookie year. Top one is similar to like Bryce last year, small sample size, and that is season by season strikeout rate. We're gonna play the game called Name That Player.
Who's gonna guess it correctly?
Yes. This is
all
League Baseball.
Yeah, all baseball.
And my hint will be he is not an uppercase giant.
Whoever gets it right, your prize will be, I will verbally read your comment as if it's being said from my words, okay? So it can be, I can compliment Wilmer, I can compliment Bailey, whatever you want me to say, I'll say it, as long as it's not, not gonna get the show banned. So I'll get your guesses in. Winner!
We've got a winner here. Here's the full image. That's Mr. Aaron Judge. Just some other 6'7" nobody that can't hit because he strikes out too much. Now listen. All right, I'm not here. I'm not doing this game to basically. This isn't me going, "Hey, Bryce Eldridge is going to be Aaron Judge." I'm not stupid enough to do that. I promise. But there's the main purpose of this whole thing for me was Everybody is quick to point out the strikeout rate and be like, oh, if he's going to strike out 30% of the time, this is a problem. And I'm just here to say there's absolutely a pathway for him to strike out 30% of the time and be a very productive major league hitter, even early on. If you look at Judge's first 3 seasons from 2017 to 2019, he had a 31.3% strikeout rate over the course of those 3 years. I'm throwing out that small sample in 2016. Now, what Judge did really well, he drew walks, and he also hit for a pretty solid average. And that's partially because, similar to what you see with Bryce, when he hits the ball, it's hit hard. Now, I did see some pretty interesting comps. Andrew Baggerly threw out an article from when Bryce was playing, when they played against Team USA. Aaron Judge had like glowing things to say about Bryce Eldridge. And one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting, because they were talking about, them both being 6'7", and a lot of other comparisons, obviously, but the length of their swing, while Aaron Judge has one of the longest swings in Major League Baseball at like 8.1 feet, I think they had it measured at, Bryce Eldridge has a swing that is actually shorter than the league average at 7.3, even though he's 6'7", which is just kind of absurd. So it is something that he's a lot more compact to the ball. So maybe he's not going to quite have that Aaron Judge-esque power, like that level. But as he's shown with a lot of the batted data, he's got a ton of pop, and it's not really something that is the least of our worries here. But there's just a couple things I kind of wanted to bring up with this, because number one, it was that there's a pathway for him to be a good player still, even with the high strikeout rate. And number two, you look at Judge, and it took him 4 or 5 years to get that to kind of a manageable range where you want it. I mean, I think we'd all be pretty happy if someday Bryce is around 24, 25%. When that first season in 2016, Aaron Judge was 24 years old. That's basically the equivalent of what Bryce got last year at 20. So if Bryce takes 4 or 5 years, this isn't like Aaron Judge, where all of a sudden Judge was, right in the middle of his prime at 28 years old. If it takes Bryce 4 or 5 years to get that strikeout rate down to that range, he'll be 26, 25, 26. So it's just some perspective for everybody. That's all this exercise was. So I think if he hits for pop, no one will care about the strikeout rate.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what you just alluded to right there. I mean, how often do you hear somebody say, well, yeah, but Aaron Judge strikes out a lot? All I hear is Aaron Judge freaking rakes. Aaron Judge is crazy pop. But with Bryce, it's nitpicky. Oh, but he strikes out a lot, so he needs another year in the minors. Like, bro, this spring, Bryce has a 30% K rate at 20 years old, which is what Judge had in his, look at that OPS that he had his rookie year, essentially, at a 30% K rate. And it's like, I don't understand the whole nitpicking business with him, bro. It's like this comment says right here, if he hits 250, 260 with 30 plus bombs, I could give a rat's patoot about a 30% K rate, bro. Just bring me that pop, bring me those runs, bring me those RBIs, bring me that bat, bro. And I'm perfectly content with it. So it's a different story. Like, if dude's making zero contact, if he's showing none of that pop and he's striking out, like, yeah, okay, you might need to go back to the lab and work on some things. But like, what more do you want from a 20-year-old, man?
I just wanted to bring this up. This is Aaron Judge in AAA, 2015 and 2016, 28.5%. Bryce was a little bit higher than that, but this was also Aaron Judge at 23. And then Aaron Judge at 24 was down. He got it down to 23.9. So, I mean, obviously he was, a lot high, a lot older at the same level, but he was still way too high at that same level, 3 years older. If we're going kind of direct comp, because this was his first year in AAA. So it's just something that, like I said, it's just perspective more than anything. Jay Ken says he cares a lot more if he's hitting 225. And you know what? The reality is he might in his rookie year. It wouldn't shock me at all if he hits 230, 225, 230. Now, is it 225 with 30 bombs and he's hitting 7th in the lineup? And he has a little bit of a knack for, and he's at least drawn a good amount of walks, and he's got Bryce in his career has shown a bit of a knack to kind of rise to the occasion late in games and, with runners in scoring position and in those bigger situations. Like it's kind of a, how does that look to me? But it's just, to me, he's got the room for growth. Like there's a very clear pathway to being productive, and there's a lot of room for growth from him.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Dan?
What's up?
Yeah, it's like he can only improve from here, and he's low 30K rate. So you're telling me he's gonna improve that while still maintaining, this high level as far as the power is concerned, as far as the bat to ball skills are concerned, as far as his improvement with his walk rate, as far as his improvement with the glove. I mean, I'm gonna take that all day.
Yeah. So, and it's funny that one of the things that gives me hope, and I totally get this take right here by Aaron. He's like, we've been burned so many times by top prospects. I'm reserving judgment for when it actually happens at the MLB level consistently, and that is 100% fair. The Giants, more than it feels like any team, have had just a lot of top prospects not pan out. But to me, it was really nice to see guys like Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper like going out of their way. Clearly those guys see what, and it wasn't Judge coming out and just like going, oh yeah, I've heard some things. So, Judge, you could tell, actually has done his homework and knows like who he is, like what his game is, all kinds of things. And it was just it was nice to hear those guys see him and they're like, no, that's a legit, that's a player right there.
Yeah, they know that he's generational. And then going back to this for a second, here's my take and my opinion on this. The difference is we have a competent front office now. We have a competent coaching staff now that values the importance. Well, they value the importance of properly developing their prospects. They made that an emphasis from day one. You heard it from Buster, especially once he promoted or hired on, I should say, Randy Wynn, as far as to be in control of development and whatnot. They made it a priority that they want to develop prospects the right way. We've had so much instability as far as the front office and coaching carousel is concerned that it's really just set a lot of these quote unquote top prospects that we've had in the past. It set them up for failure, plain and simple. You saw how that went with Joey Bart. You saw how that went with Luis Matos. You saw how that went with Marco Luciano. Like you saw time and time again, just incompetence from top down is what eventually resulted in the failure of a lot of these prospects. Now you've got a staff in place and a front office in place that has valued that importance, made it an effort, and they've shown that over the last couple of years. I mean, we've seen Bryce climb through the ranks. They're not rushing him up. They gave him a little bit of taste, developing him properly now, building up his confidence the right way, and you can see that happening with others in the system as well. So to me, that's what the biggest difference comes down to.
Yeah. Well, and they backed themselves into a corner a handful of times under the prior regime where they started guys' clocks way too early, where they didn't have to.
Like Wade Meckler?
Well, yeah, I mean, Meckler, Bart, they started it, basically 2 years earlier than they had to. With the 2020 season, it was almost a wash with the whole Rule 5 stuff. They did not have to, they did not have to open or start his clock until after 2021, because you had 3 years for college guys. So they had, 2019, 2020, because he got drafted in 2018, but end of the year, so they don't even count that. They could have had 2019, 2020, 2021, because everyone was kind of aware Buster was coming back, and they didn't have to add him to the 40 man until 2022. Had they waited until that year, they would have had 22, 23, 24. In 2024, when they did the whole Tom Murphy thing, they could have just had Bart stashed in AAA had they done the thing. And then when Murphy messed up his knee, back, and every other thing, they would have just been able to pull Bart up, and you had avoided that whole fiasco. But they pulled him up early for literally no reason because they panicked in 2020 in a COVID year. Same thing with Luciano and Matos. They add him to the 40 man when neither guy had even played in Double A yet. What are we worried about? Is a team going to poach them and just stash them on the end of their bench for a year because they're a top prospect when they're because that's just going to mess their development up there. So it's just, they did that with a bunch of guys where it just makes zero sense how they handle it. Now it just backs them into corners. It's like where they run out of options.
It's just incompetence from prior regimes and staffs compared to now. It's night and day. I mean, you can't tell me that there's not a difference, especially in the development side of things. So that's why I think it's a different story with Bryce, man. It's not like with, Luciano, for example, where he showed flashes at a low level and then struggled in the higher levels and then got rushed through. You've seen Bryce produce at every single level that he's been in. So, and it doesn't feel to me like there's been a sense of pressure that's been put on him. Like, we need you on the big league team. Like, they made it clear, like, last year, okay, we're just going to let him rake for the entire year until he forces our hand. And eventually he did. And he made his way up. And, looking at it now, it's like, if he came into spring and he was struggling still, he was struggling defensively, the bat just wasn't there, like, then I'd understand, okay, yeah, maybe he needs a couple months in Sacramento. But from what I've seen through these first couple weeks of spring, there's nothing that's deterring me from having him on your starting lineup on opening day.
Like, just to add to your point about him versus like Luciano, because that's the one I swear I always see. You take what Luciano did in AAA last year, which was probably his most productive season.
Yeah.
In the upper levels of the minors since he's been around. And Luciano, who is 3 years older than Bryce, doing it. And then you look at what Bryce did at the same level against the same pitching on the same team, and Bryce was objectively better.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. And then you look at every level he had been in prior, he's hit. So it's just, to me, it's not, those are not comparable prospects. Now, you could look at a guy like Matos, maybe, who's actually hit down in the upper levels, and he's shown flashes but hasn't really been able to like get over the hump in the majors. Maybe that's fair. Or we can talk about Casey Schmidt, but Casey's kind of showing, he showed that, I mean, I felt like he showed that he was a starting caliber player last year, but obviously they brought in a rise, but we'll see. I mean, he proved that he's kind of a major leaguer at least. So I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. It was just a fun thing to do. But who else we got that's doing pretty well? I think we talked about Trevor McDonald last week. He posted another couple scoreless innings today. He's really solid.
He's forcing his way onto that bullpen, bro.
Like, he is going to be such an interesting case, because if you just go, who's the top 13 pitchers on the Giants on the 40 man, not even in camp, who's the best 13 in camp? Where would McDonald be right now? Like 5th?
At least, yeah.
4th? Like, I mean, he's performing like one of the best. Now, granted, once these guys all shift into their, major league gear, we'll call it, he's still, he's probably a little lower on the 13, but he is showing that he's one of those best 13. And this is a bullpen that is got major question marks. Sam Henches, no one knows if he's going to be ready for opening day. I think I saw Miller is a little dinged up right now, which is concerning because he's had a lot that he's dealt with in the past. Peguero has a hamstring strain. He's not going to be, it sounds like he's probably out for opening day. Like, even if he's throwing again, it almost sounded like he's out of the running basically because of this. And then there was one more. I don't remember who it was. I don't know, but you look at the pen, it's thin. And if you're just going on for the best, the best 8 guys to throw on that, I mean, McDonald's making a case. Now, the one issue I have is this is a guy that's already built up to throw starter innings. Yeah. I mean, I've constantly harped on this organization to actually properly build these guys up to handle a major league workload, and you look down in there in AAA, and these guys are throwing like 120 innings or 125 innings, and it's like, okay, that's great. That'll get them to, August, and then they fall apart, and they've done that like every year. And then you look at McDonald. He threw 157 in a third innings last season. He's ready. He's at a major league workload. So where my concern is what happens if you dial him way back, and then all of a sudden we're asking him to build back up mid-season, and we're doing the whole Birdsong thing with him. And I do think he could probably handle it better than Birdsong, but at the same time, like, do we really want to find out?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a valid point. Unfortunately, just kind of comes down to a numbers game. The rotation seems like it's solidified, and it's, even though he's got a case to be made to at least be plugged in as like a 4 or 5, there's not room for it. So I think it's inevitable that he's going to get time in the pen, and if he keeps up this performance and stays healthy, I think he's going to force their hand to be in that pen on opening day. There's another couple names that we've talked about that seem like they're going to make a case as well. I mean, we talked about one last week with Gregory Santos. He's been pretty solid this spring. Jose Buto, he had a great day today as well. Those guys, he was probably a lock to begin with, but as far as just solidifying their case, I think it's undeniable he's going to be in there. Fulmer, that's a case.
This is what, 4 clean outings so far?
He's been solid.
He's not going to blow you away with stuff, but efficiency. At least velocity, he's not going to blow you away. He throws a lot of off speed. That's pretty solid, but he's just throws strikes, knows how to pitch, and there's something to still be said about guys that just know how to pitch.
Yeah,
get out there and give you quality outings.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple guys, just like I said, off the top of our heads. That's it's gonna be tough because it's a numbers game, and I think once you start seeing the roster cuts, I think you'll be able to start narrowing guys down. But I mean, right now there's still multiple positions that are up for grabs as far as the pen is concerned. So Rob says, predict the guys that make the pen. That's a tough one, man.
If I was going to go right now, just with my gut, I might forget a name. If I forget a name, someone call me out on it.
I got you.
If it's like an obvious one. Who I have making the pen, I'm going to operate off of the thought that Henches is not available for opening day. Yes. Now, that said, whoever I name last will be the interchangeable one, I think. Okay. I think as of right now, I think you're looking at Walker's going to make it. Buto's going to make it. Miller's going to make it. I think Bivens will probably make it.
I think Bivens is a lock.
Yeah, he's probably a lock, especially with some of the uncertainty. This is where it gets really, really muddy.
How many bullpen arms we think they're gonna carry?
Probably 8.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too.
That would be my guess.
So we get the top 4 down. Now we get.
So then I'm thinking maybe 4. Like Fulmer.
Okay.
I think he's probably gonna make it. I think Santos has been really good. I think they're gonna like. Well. I think they like his arm. I feel like I'm forgetting an obvious name, but I just don't know who it is off the top of my head. I do think McDonald, as of right now, is going to be he's going to be in there. And
did you already say Eric Miller?
Yeah, he was the second one. Okay. And then maybe Killian. Maybe Killian's that kind of coin flip guy that if Henches is available, he doesn't. But if he is,
I would say it'd be between Killian and Gage.
Oh yeah, Gage. I was forgetting a name.
Yeah.
I think Gage is probably a lock, especially. Yeah. So maybe Killian, maybe that last spot.
Killian or Fulmer.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last 2 spots is going to basically come down to Fulmer, Santos, Killian, and then
McDonald,
and then Henches, whether or not he's available. I think right now, if everything continues the way it has, I think I think McDonald is going to like force that issue and just be there.
Yeah, so Walker, Bivens, Miller, Gage, McDonald. So there's 5 for sure. Santos,
Budo.
and then either Killian or Fulmer for the 8th.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably a fair prediction.
Yeah. And then if Henches is available, then one of the 3 guys between Santos, Fulmer, and Killian.
Or if they want a lefty, maybe Wiz forces their hand to force his way into the bullpen. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and if Miller's on the DL or IL, whatever, if he's on the IL, then maybe 2 of those guys make it. But
yeah,
I do think Gage makes it. I was just forgetting that name. When I don't write him down, I always forget somebody.
Yeah, no, it just randomly clicked in my head.
Yeah, that would probably be my prediction.
Okay.
They're kind of in a weird spot. They've got plenty of lefties when guys are healthy.
Yeah.
They have 3 lefties in the pen if all 3 are healthy. If you have Henches, Miller, and Gage, I think all 3 are virtual locks going into the year if they're healthy. But 2 of those guys have big question marks on health right now between Henches and Miller. I mean, Henches, it's just he's returning from the injury, and I maybe they're slow playing him. I don't know. Miller's probably a little more of a concern at the moment.
I would say even more than an exceptional outing, Dan. He's going to need an exceptional rest of the spring. He's had a very rough start.
Yeah, he has. And that was kind of the origin of I think for the joke for Aaron, where we were talking about guys working on stuff.
It's without a doubt they've been making him work on stuff. Without a doubt, bro.
Yeah, they've identified the pitch that needs the most work, and they're just like, all right, you're gonna throw it nonstop.
You're gonna throw it 30 times in a row until you start to just feel good.
Yeah, you look at what Wisenhunt in his last outing, because I was curious, because I'm watching. We weren't able to watch it, but we're watching the game cast, basically, and it's just like fastball. And I'm like, that he gets through the first inning and he'd thrown 22 pitches and 18 were fastballs.
Yeah.
I'm like, they basically just took his best pitch and said, yeah, you don't get to throw that today.
It's like anyone that's ever watched Wisenhunt pitch in the minors, that he utilizes that changeup. That is his bread and butter. But now they're just like, hey, we know you got that changeup, solidify. That thing's locked down. We want you to throw the fastball. Yeah. You're calling the pitches from the dugout. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. It's just they're working on stuff, It's like I said, I'm gonna care a lot more end of the spring. Now, one thing that I do think is concerning wasn't exactly locating the fastball very well. So there is part of that you definitely can point to and just kind of have some concern. So it's not all good. It's not all excuses on this. I mean, he does need to locate it better, but when you have a 70 grade pitch, that's kind of a great equalizer for a guy like Wisenhunt. And that's something that when he can drop it in at the right time, he can get whiffs, he can get weak contact. It can help him get out of innings and get out of trouble. So when you take that away from him, sometimes you're going to have some ugliness.
Yeah, no kidding.
J. Ken says Ray was nothing but fastball in his last start. Yeah, I mean, you hear these stories all the time. I mean, I know FP likes to talk about it. Guy Kruko likes to talk about it. I mean, Kruko, I think last spring mentioned, he would have an outing where he's like, I'm going to throw only fastballs for the first 2 innings or whatever it is. They don't even throw any of their off speed. So you just never know.
Yeah, for sure. Pitching also Mason Black, Kyle Harrison.
I'm guessing he's talking about the Tom might be watching from a bit earlier.
Oh yeah. I'll
All
say
right. So if you guys
Chiefs.
have anything else you want to chat on, throw it in there quick. We're gonna be wrapping this up probably in about 10 minutes. Dan had a long day. I had a long day. I think we're all just kind of fading.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna run this too long.
Will Matos be freed this year? Freed in which direction, Harris?
Yeah.
Is gonna you gonna be freed as far as
From the bench from San
yeah,
Francisco.
yeah. See, because your guess is as good as
Yeah.
mine. I think he deserves to be freed in one way or another. Either let him be free and give him a playing time after 3 years of attempting, or let him be free and let him go get everyday playing time for another team.
I mean, dude, if I'm like the Colorado Rockies,
Yeah, if you're the
I had a
Rockies or
hundred.
the White Sox or someone like,
I'm not saying I'm like gonna go crazy and give the Giants like some top prospect or something like that, but like, yeah, if I'm like the White Sox or the Rockies or the, you know, the
Marlins.
even a team like the Cardinals that's kind of gonna bottom out this year, it looks like. If I'm some team that can, try and snag him for pretty cheap, it's just not. Maybe you give up a prospect years in the 20s, like a better player than what the Giants got with Strickland for Bart. Um, but I would overpay a little bit for a guy like Matos, who's shown flashes when he's given like everyday playing time versus the up and down stuff. I mean, especially if you're a bad team, like what do you have to lose? The kid is 24 years old.
Yeah.
It, if he's good, awesome. If he's not, then you didn't probably you gave up like a lottery ticket to the Giants. Who cares? Like,
Yeah. If I'm one of those teams that he's at, towards the top of my trade targets
yeah.
because there's nothing but upside there. So
That's like if I'm a team that has, if I have a decent reliever and I'm on a kind of crummy team that doesn't really have a chance, and if I had a need at third base or even like second base, I would 100% be dangling that reliever for Schmidt
oh, for sure.
for the Giants. Like there's a couple of these young guys that are kind of blocked for opportunities right now. That if I was on a bad team, those are the kinds of guys I'm looking for. Now I'm sure guys on other teams, um, that are in the similar situation. So I don't follow them as close, but that's what I would be looking for.
No.
Jen says, can Matos become the next Mauricio Dubon? I mean, would it shock any of us?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Talented player,
Who do we trade him for? Like a middle reliever.
Yeah. The Giants might have to add a little something into that, or with Matos, it might just be I think Casey would have more value because he has options. He's more established, but it might be more of a prospect anyway, or they might have to like do it as a package, giving up him and then like throwing another guy in. But yeah, I mean that's what the Giants should be looking for right now. I mean their pen is concerning. That's all I'm going to say, because I mean it could be better than we think, but
it'd be the opposite, Rob. You'd want a reliever to make the pen decision easier.
yeah,
Because rather than having 4 open spots and you're trying to pick and choose to go in there, then it'd be down to just 3. You'd fill one of those spots automatically.
yeah.
So that'd be the logic there.
Depth is not a bad thing.
Definitely not.
Having a Santos or a Killian in AAA, not the end of the world, especially because as the season goes on, guys like Harris and Bednar are going to have more and more experience, and Juan Sanchez and a couple of these, and even like RJ Dabovich, who's finally healthy again. They've got 3 or 4 of these good reliever prospect arms down there that just haven't quite shown they're ready just yet. Roxby, they've got a handful of these arms that are just right there that just probably need more experience more than anything.
Yeah, for sure. Here, let me skim through some of these from earlier. Macho says, Jung Hoo injured or not? We touched on that earlier. Looks like he's just twisted his ankle, a little swollen, but he played today and got 2 hits. So it seems like he's all right. Tom says Susak has been good. Susak has been great. He is the opening day backup catcher, in my opinion, and should get
right now,
35 to 40% of the starts.
Yeah, Glenn Kuiper said on the broadcast today that the Giants' backup started, I think, 46 games last season.
Yeah, I'd want to bump that up to at least 65.
Yeah,
at
Yeah, I mean,
least.
I would probably. I mean, I'm not sure what the percentage would be, but yeah, I mean, if you can get that up to the 55 range, I mean,
I'd
or
love that.
60 is probably like 60, 55 to 60. I mean,
60
that's
would be fair.
35 to 40% probably.
Here we go. Yoki. Shout out Yoki for the 2. He says, cash it on
Sure.
Matos for relief pitching. Bo Davidson is coming. Bo Davidson is coming, bro. I think at this time next year, you're going to have the talks with Bo that you are with Bryce right now about how he's making a push for the opening day roster. That would not shock me.
What did I say about when they got Bader for 2 years and they kept
Yeah.
it out of 3 and they kept it to 2?
Did
I
that
said
intentionally.
that is absolutely perfect for Bo's timeline because
Absolutely.
if Bo forces the issue and looks great and you're ready to turn it over, there's nothing wrong with either making Bader a 4th outfielder or it's an expiring contract that you could trade pretty easily.
Exactly.
So,
I
and
believe
if he's
that was
not,
100% intentional.
yeah, and if he's not ready, you got a quality center fielder, so whatever. you know.
J. Ken says, Penn, what about the rotation? That's my that's my response.
Yeah, I think it is very clear that they're going to need at least 30 starts out of the grouping of McDonald, Tidwell, Wisenhunt. Am I forgetting a name? I'm forgetting a name. Birdsong. I think it's pretty clear they're going to need 30-ish starts out of people in that group because they've got a rotation with behind Webb. You've got Ray, who he's been reliable in his career for 160 to 180 innings, but he is getting older. Second year off of Tommy John. We'll see. But between Roop, Hauser, and Malley, those are guys that have missed a lot of starts. So
Yeah, man. That's what scares me.
I feel best about McDonald and Tidwell. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Ray is widely inconsistent. Well, it's the last year that Robbie Ray's got a contract, so there's gonna be a lot of rotation spots opening up after this year, to say the least.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's why they gave Hauser 2 years.
I think
They've
so
only got
too.
3 starters under contract.
Yep.
If you're just going off of like proven MLB arms, you've got Webb, Roop. I think Roop is a proven MLB arm. Whether or not he remains as a starter, we'll see. But you've got Webb, Roop, and Hauser, and that's it. And beyond that, you're hoping one or two of these young guys kind of prove themselves. So you're not trying to fill in 3 spots next year. Yeah.
Yeah. Harris says Parks Harbor is a stud. Yes, he is. And
Dude can hit.
dude can hit. I don't know why they won't play him in the outfield. I don't know why they're so intent on him being corner infield. But he can hit.
Yeah.
Nick says, I think one of those guys you just mentioned could end up being in the rotation by the end of the season. I almost said end of the month.
Yeah.
Good, that wouldn't shock me either. Yeah, I think it's inevitable. You're gonna get those 3 guys that Cody mentioned. They're going to make an appearance as far as a starter is concerned sooner rather than later, probably.
I think McDonald is the one I am most confident in sticking. I think a couple of the other guys have more upside and potential if they hit their ceilings. But I feel like McDonald is the guy that I feel the most confident in. Kind of like when I watched Roop a couple of years ago, and I'm like, this is a major leaguer. Like this is a major league pitcher. Maybe he doesn't have the greatest upside in the world, but this is a major league pitcher. And that's kind of how I feel watching McDonald. Like that's a major leaguer right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, I agree. I like his stuff. Aaron says, Caveman, hit me up when you go to a SJ game, beer and cookies on me. Hey, I'm on a diet, but at the game, I will absolutely take you up on that offer. Only thing is, I am severely, deathly allergic to peanuts, so make sure they're peanut free and let it be a Modelo or a Corona or Pacifico. That's all I gotta say. Actually, anything but an IPA. I'm Mexican.
You're gonna get Coors Light and you like it.
Yeah. Hey, I could use some water.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he needs to. Do you travel to Sac, Aaron?
Yeah, the three of us are probably going to a SAC game, and if you want to come
Yeah.
through. You're gonna just keep feeding caveman Coronas, and I'm gonna just start waving my shirt around, just go woo, just until I get ejected.
Hey, Bressy's not gonna be there for the beer batter this year.
True.
I don't know who's gonna. You're gonna be rooting for Martinez and Kayama, maybe De La Torre, maybe like a
Delatorre's
Reed Worley. I don't know if they're gonna put him in Arizona or not.
Delatorre's gonna take one look at me and say that guy's got class.
You were the enlightened one.
Enlightened, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the enlightened one in the crowd.
He looked at Ricky and I and was like, "Nah."
Then he saw me and his eyes lit up. He's like, "Yes, one of me, one of my people."
Good kid. Make sure you guys go support those guys over in San Jose. They won it. Well, the previous group won it last year, the Cal League Championship. We got a lot of good players in San Jose. Eugene's going to be a great watch for those of you up in my neck of the woods in the Northwest.
With that being said, I hope one of us, between me, you, and Ricky, wins that Eugene Emeralds giveaway. We deserve it.
I don't think the Emeralds will like it if I win that because it's just going to get given away on the show.
Yeah, I'm selfish. I'll keep that, even though I already got a Bryce bobblehead.
Yeah.
It's funny. After I posted that, Charlie actually DM'd me.
Did he?
Yeah, he was like, "That's what's up. Thanks for shouting that one out." I was like, "Yeah, Charlie's the homie, dude."
Which one? Oh, your thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie's
the homie.
Charlie's a good dude.
Yeah, I talked a little bit with him today. I talked with Dason Crows a couple days ago. All those guys are super good. Yeah,
we'll say what's up to Dason in Sac in a month for sure. He's a good dude.
Yeah, me and Ricky are probably gonna go out to San Jose for Churro Day. Actually,
Churro Day.
That's when we're planning. We're planning on
free
doing
churros.
Churro Day.
Or like $1 churros or something.
They're like discounted churros, and they got the churro uniforms and stuff.
I did see those jerseys. They're actually pretty sick.
I've got one in the closet, bro.
Yeah, those were clean. I will say
they're super clean. I wore it went to the Modesto game when I went and caught up with the guys. And like, "Hey, you're rocking the churro." I'm like, "Yes, sir. It's my favorite jersey, bro."
Yeah,
the hats are sick too. You like the. Nice. They had them on display there. I was like, "Oh, that's something Cody would wear."
Yeah. Well,
my head's too.
I like the old school. Oh, are you talking about the style?
Just the logo on it was sick.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, my head's too big. That I don't look good with hats.
Yeah. Let's see. Any last things before we?
You have churros in the closet. That's hardcore. I'm Mexican, bro.
He's got churros under his pillow. Come on now.
Yes, sir. Oh, he says Dason Crow's sleeper to get up to the big league club this year. He'd get out into the 40 first, but
dude can hit. I mean, it's before we go, when's the last time we had this many guys that we look at in the Giants system in the minors and went, that dude can hit? It feels like it's been forever.
Not in my lifetime. It feels like.
Yeah.
No, I was born in 97, folks, so that says it all.
My history of watching Giants like minor league ball, it felt like there was always like one guy at each level that we were like, yeah, this guy can hit. And now it's like there's 4 or 5 dudes in each lineup where you're like, guy can hit. I mean, look at Sacramento, you get a guy like Nate Furman, who also took a picture with Bryce Eldridge in the offseason. He's got a little bit of that Quinn McDaniel where he just looks tiny. because Bryce does make everyone look huge, but it was pretty funny. But yeah, dude rakes. He was the throw-in the trade they got Brezzy for. When they got traded for Cobb, he was the player to be named later. Shows up to the Giants, and all he's done is hit 300, like both stops.
Right, thank you very much.
It's like
I'll take that all day.
What a fleece job. I'll throw Farhan a bone for that one. That was a good trade. All right,
a rare far on bone.
You know me. If anything, I'm fair. I give credit where it's due. He gets one for that. So I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up, though. I think we're all tired. It's nice. It's Friday night. We're all fading. Dan actually hung. He braved it out. He said he was gonna have to leave at 9. He sat here and toughed it out.
Guys,
So
I left for work at like what 6:45, 7 this morning. I got home 30 minutes before we went live. I'm tired, bro, and I got to get up early to work tomorrow too. So yeah, I need those cookies and Coronas, Aaron. It's the weekend. Yeah. I could cheat.
Hey, don't worry. We lose an hour of sleep on Saturday night. So,
damn it! Why'd you have to say that?
Something good news, Bear Dan. You're welcome. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys hopping in here. Always a fun time. I'll be back probably with at least a video or two sometime next week. We do have Jeremiah Jenkins sometime in the near future. He's already told us he's down to jump on. A+ personality or 80.
He just got the Papagoa this morning.
Yes, he did. And he's got his where he's been working on his swing, same place as Trevor Cohen. He's staying much more behind the ball. He'll talk much more about it. He's doing the little Barry Bonds toe tap.
His swing looks nice though.
It's loud.
It looks.
He's got a big guy. Big, just dude's freaking unit. He's huge,
dude. So, it's funny because when I met him, and I've met him multiple times now, but every time I'm like looking up to bro. I'm like, dude, I'm 5'10", 200 plus, and I'm like, you're huge, man.
Yeah. And he is just a big smiley personality.
He's a big old teddy bear.
Yes. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys hopping in. Go Giants, and we will catch you all next Friday with our next live show.
Yes, sir.